No, so what I was laughing about before we started recording, I play Call of Duty with my buddies. And Caracal. I sent him. He said it is time. Like it was like the Lion King, and I sent back like a guy in like a recording booth, like he's doing like that with his thumbs up, and I said we're recording, and he sent back another guy in front of a microphone. He's just going.
I haven't seen anybody do that in forever. That is perfect.
Yeah, it's funny that it's in front of a microphone. I was like, wow, I don't know what he searched to find that, but it was pretty.
He follows
on.
our TikTok though, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah, I think he does.
Then he might have seen the video of me doing that too.
Oh yeah, he may have.
Or maybe he just saw that. Maybe it's completely.
Maybe
unrelated.
he was just like, "Fuck you." Like he was. I think that's mostly what it was.
Yeah, probably. He's talking to you, so that's That's what I would. That's my default for you.
Yeah.
And with that,
ooh,
boo yammy. Okay. Now we're good. Anyways,
I have no words.
So, with that being said,
yeah, we're here. We're kicking it off.
We're here in mind, body, and
hey. All right, I'll just throw it in post just completely. We'll just do it that way because I don't know why OBS is being a dookie.
being a big doo-doo.
being a whole big doo-doo.
What a big doo-doo. Big doo-doo Discord.
Well, it started with Discord. This whole thing is because of Discord.
Oh, yeah, we're starting super late. You guys don't know it because it's Friday at noon.
Yeah.
For y'all, but
for us, it's Tuesday at 9.
Right. And I think we originally wanted to start at 7.
6:30. 6:30.
See? That's how you compromise.
Yeah.
That's how we know we're going to last.
Split the difference.
Yeah, we put in the work rather than just leaving one another.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Unresolved tension.
Oh, it's resolved. So about Florida.
Oh, yeah, your business trip. Hey, are you going to tell the people who we are and what we got our hands full with today?
I am. Well, after the debacle with the introduction, it's kind of odd, but regardless, salutations, good people. Welcome to the CS Podcast, where we create stuff, or if you're Trey,
create shit.
I'm Josh, and today we have our hands absolutely full with another fantastic CS Podcast for you guys. Another show that includes our faithful companion, Curtis, the Gumball Machine. Curtis Clear Channel himself. We have a featured content creator of sorts that we are going to pipe in.
Yeah.
And
we'll get him on a little bit later.
Have him on a little bit later. He is a high school student. He is a very close individual to me. We'll put it that way. And
I don't know if I'd...
Well, we're close.
Yeah.
I've known him since he was 5 years old. He's currently 16. He is a high school student who is tearing up the amateur wrestling world. We're going to talk to him about what goes on in his head while he's preparing for a match, what he does to stay in tip-top shape, and just how he perfects his craft by studying, learning, and what goes into molding himself and shaping himself to be the up-and-coming amateur wrestler that he is.
The beast of the Southeast.
David, the beast of the Southeast. Okay, so he's going to watch that back. He's going to eat that crap up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's going to be what he makes, like... I don't think he has a girlfriend, but whoever he dates next, he's going to make
I was on a podcast. Check this out. These guys that I have no affiliation with talked about me on their podcast and wanted me to be a guest because I'm such a great wrestler. And this is what they said. And this guy with the long, pretty hair said that I was the beast of the Southeast.
So you got to call me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's too humble to do that.
Yeah.
But
he really is.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm fresh off of my second trip to Florida within the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
4-ish,
just to be safe.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. Little business trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So went to Gainesville, Florida.
Nice. Excuse me.
Your
chicken's
excuse.
got me.
The chickens got
Clucking,
you?
yeah.
Man. I was wondering why you just swallowed a whole chicken. I guess you like to have chickens get you.
I just,
You just-
cock's my thing.
you like a little...
just get a little tuned up on some
Don't...
on some cock, big dog.
Good Lord. Oh,
At least it wasn't 10 of them.
we're starting off with a...
Oh, with that.
With a that.
Yeah.
Nah, it's Bang. I think they know.
I think they figured it out by now.
It is a Bang energy drink.
Hey, speaking of Bang and like just doing stuff right, I just want to give a big shit out to Aaron Bankston. Not Gary, because
Nope.
it's Aaron that hooked us up with these fine ass chairs.
Screw Gary from now on. Aaron, thank you for these wonderful chairs. My spine has never been more erect.
And my ass, it just is.
Well, it looks better.
It does.
Since you've been
feels
sitting
better.
in that chair,
My ass just looks great now.
it is stellar.
It's just money.
Oh, God. I could see the countdown in your eyes. I think I thought of it, and I'm like, he thought of it too.
Yep.
When it 2, 1, money. So to explain that, the Big Show of the WWE was on Steve Austin's podcast, and the Big Show faked an injury to get seated on the plane earlier. That was from advice from Stone Cold Steve Austin himself.
Yeah.
And as the Big Show limped by Steve Austin, who was boarded first, because he first class, clearly.
Yeah.
The Big Show limped by him, and Steve Austin told him later, he goes, "Hey, kid, that limp was pretty good, but that wince was money." So Trey and I have been saying that back and forth to each other. So
For, I don't know, a few weeks now. It's been
now.
a while.
Yeah. So, oh, when you have that moment, you just
roll with it.
Oh, that was so great. Anyways, Gainesville, Florida.
That's it. I was like, what were we talking about?
Yeah, my business trip.
Yeah.
Which big shout out to my friend in Gainesville.
Yeah.
Who was gracious enough to open their doors and let me crash.
Save a little money. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And what a good host they were.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a tour of Gainesville. Got to,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, got to see. Dude, Gainesville is a really cool town.
Really? So, as far as like when we went through, because I think we came up and went through Jacksonville on our way back.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Like, how close were we to Gainesville?
An hour and a half.
Okay, so we weren't too far.
So if this is us,
Uh-huh.
Gainesville is over to the left.
Oh, okay.
Jacksonville's the coast. We were over. Gainesville's over
Yeah.
to the left.
So we just missed it.
An hour and a half. Yeah.
Okay.
We were probably a little closer on the way down because we went through.
It was
the
a weird way to go.
Everglades.
Yeah. It was.
I think it had to do with Morgan driving. I think she just went where she wanted to go,
And the
What
GPS
she
just
wanted-
rerouted.
The GPS just went. I give up. Go where you'd like,
Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah.
So
Recalculating. Fuck it. Like,
go where you want. But no, Gainesville, where University of Florida is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Went by the big stadium, ate at a nice little diner.
Nice.
Yeah, really cool town. It's like super diverse.
Yeah.
It's how it was explained to me going into Gainesville, and then after seeing all of Gainesville, definitely diverse. It's just
I can say. I mean, it's. Could you categorize it as a college town?
absolutely
Okay, that I can. Then I can
100%.
definitely see that. And you think about like Clemson. Clemson's pretty diverse.
It is.
to an extent because it's a college town. Same thing with like Columbia.
right. Well,
Yeah.
no, big college town.
Yeah.
100%. But super cool. Good weather. I mean,
Nice.
it was awesome.
I
Awesome
think
trip.
it rained up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Probably.
Fuck you.
Sounds right.
But-
But no, overall, phenomenal trip. I mean, I literally just got out of the car. Can't you tell? I'm wearing a shirt that screams, I just went to Florida.
I just went to Florida and didn't pick this up on Amazon.
Totally didn't. Totally haven't been back for a few days now, and I'm just wearing it for continuity because I'm talking about my Florida trip. It was just an excuse to wear my floral shirt.
Well, I mean, we didn't pull it off, but we were going I think when we hit our beach intro, we were supposed to take our shirts off while the video was up, so that when we came back from the beach intro, we were going to be putting our shirts back on like we had just stepped off the beach.
That's right. That's right. We didn't do that.
No, we didn't.
But that's okay. That's all right. Anyways,
same concept.
Same concept, same idea. I'm pulling off the floral, I guess.
Yeah, I like
with my hat that's half black and half camo.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't clash at all.
Not at all.
I don't know anything to do with fashion, but
I mean,
if I did, that'd make a certain sound, I guess. It'd be loud.
It'd be a mix of it'd be a gunshot and an ocean, or a gunshot and a seagull.
Yeah. Guess. Seagulls say, mine. Mine. Mine.
Hawks say, hey.
Seagulls say, mine.
Mine. We're children. So yeah.
Says the guy that's friends with the guy that bought the Coctopus painting.
Oh, your Coctopus is falling over.
I know. He just has a hard time staying up. With all that coming out of it, I probably would be too.
If you could see the picture, there's a lot.
Yeah. So, I guess it would have been high school. Were you ever friends with like people that could like, so that you take your tongue and you go like, you kind of get spit on it and you go like that, and they spurt, for lack of a better.
It's called gleet.
Gleet. I thought it had a word and I couldn't think of it, so it's gleeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Could you ever do that?
No.
I had a friend that like he could just be like, like a fucking lizard,
right?
And I never could figure it out, and so like I looked at it and I was like, I mean, obviously I know what it's doing, but the first thing that came to my mind was gleeting, not that
skeeting.
Yeah, gleeting as opposed to skeeting. Yeah. So I don't know, but I remember being. Did they ever come to your school with like the big inflatable thing that you got inside of, and it was like a planetarium?
You lost me at planetarium.
So like you would like, it was like a big inflatable dome,
okay,
and like you crawled inside of it. You could fit like a class in it, and like it was just the stars. Like you could look at constellations and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's because I went to T.L. Hanna and we had money. Like
I went to Liberty, South Carolina.
Yeah,
we were the only school in our district, or that we went up against in track and field, that could not have a track meet at their stadium because it was not up to code. So no, we didn't have inflatable space, Trey.
Well, we did.
Yeah, you went to T.L. Hanna.
Yeah, I went to T.L. fucking Hanna.
Clearly did.
Yeah. So
they probably served lunch there too, didn't they?
They did. We got lunch. We got Chick-fil-A at T.L. Hanna. They brought in I mean, you had to pay for it, but
oh boy,
Chick-fil-A catered, and
you were pooping in high cotton, weren't you?
Yeah, we did. We were.
You probably actually had high cotton. You went out there and took your little craps in. That's your janitor.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Do away with my soiled underwear.
It won't flush.
I was about to say that. It won't flush. Shout out.
Tell that full story. I think we did.
I think you did.
I'm fairly certain we did.
Shout out
that guy for taking care of my shit
at the hotel in Marathon.
That
Florida.
low ass. That was like, what was that, like a 2 psi for that water pressure? Like, it was awful.
In your defense, that was terrible water pressure.
Even afterwards, like, he wouldn't flush for
I
anybody.
Stopped it up. Yeah. I finally got it to go down after 3 or 4 flushes.
I'd have felt so bad if we called that guy back. He won't flush again.
He would have just said, again? I had to tip him double.
But anyway, so the planet, I remember being in this planetarium, and like it's dark. you know, because you're looking at like it's just little stars up there, and I was determined. I was like,
At that moment, you felt the need to gleet.
well, we had talked about it like going in there. Like my buddy did it, and I was like, oh, how do you? And he's like, you do this, and I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm sitting there practicing, and I was like, it's dark, whatever. Nobody's gonna see me. I was like, and I gleated, and it hit somebody in the face.
You sprayed your Trey venom.
I don't remember. I forget who it was, but I just remember
What
them
did
going.
she say?
I just remember somebody go, "Oh, what the hell is that?" And I was just like, "What do you do?" And so
It
like,
worked?
Oops. He'd spray in face like. But, yeah, I just remember I think we turned the lights on or something. The teacher was like, "All right, what happened?" And like, I don't know. And I was just like, And I think he knew because we had been talking about. Like, I think he may have overheard us talking about it going in or something. But yeah, I still remember that. Like of all the times it could have just in the pitch black and just hit somebody. I was like, "Oops."
And what did they say?
What the hell was that? Or what the heck was that?
Yeah.
Did you get hit in the face with liquid? It's like, what was that?
Why is my face wet?
Yeah.
In the inflatable space.
There's no water up here. Like,
Right.
oh, so anyways, moving on from gleeting and skeeting.
If that's not the title of this episode.
Gleeting and skeeting.
Yeah. Oh, man. Whew. Okay. I feel like I've been creating something. What have I been doing? What have I been working on?
I don't know.
I feel like there's been a lot that you and I have been going over. I mean, I know the big thing that we talked about yesterday. That has to do with the future of
Us.
Everything that
We're getting married. We're making it official.
I'm ordained, so I'm gonna perform the ceremony.
Yeah, he'll just marry us.
I'll just marry us.
Yeah.
So, other than that,
Yeah. The other big thing.
the other big thing. No, it has to do with us and what we want to do with this brand.
Yeah.
The Create Stuff brand. Again, I don't know which one of us started talking about it first.
I think I brought it up. I think I mentioned it, and you were like, I think I've heard of something like that.
Right. Yeah, because you had said...
And you had talked about, I thought I'd shown you that.
Right. I thought it was you that had shown me a clip of this individual who had had an idea for it before.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time it being a great idea.
Yeah.
But we were not doing our thing with the podcast, so I didn't...
Yeah.
You know, it was lost in my brain somewhere. But... as we do, one of us has an idea, and then we started going back and forth. And before we knew it, we had something that we were both...
Setting up a timer.
Gotcha.
I forgot to set it.
That we were both very, very excited about. And well, honestly, like, has a lot to do with what we do here, but more importantly, how it's going to affect others.
Yeah.
And how it's going to affect people who... maybe need what we had concocted, but...
Are we going to reveal it, or are we going to... Like, what do you want to... I don't know.
I think we both said maybe revealing it and talking about it would be
I
a
thought
good,
so.
good thing to put it out. And
It was like right here, and you were just like... So I didn't... It was a lot of build-up.
It was a lot of build-up.
So I started thinking, I was like, oh, maybe we're not... Maybe we're just going to tease it.
What is he talking about?
Yeah.
So if you would like to go ahead and kick off what it was that you said.
Yeah, so the name, first of all, is just a placeholder. I don't know if it's something that we will... I like it. First of all, let me get that out there. I really like it. But after some research, there are other places with the same name. So I don't know if we could use it or not. I guess we could figure it out. We could do some more research into that. But the working title right now would be The Creative Space. Mm-hmm. And essentially what it is would be a space here in my hometown. You're from Piggins, but I'm from Anderson. So we had talked about here in Anderson or wherever, just here in South Carolina, upstate of South Carolina.
I've lived here the majority of my life, so
Yeah.
I consider Anderson.
Yeah.
It's kind of like home.
Okay.
I've lived here more years than I have anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay, then. So, Anderson. So, basically what this space would be is the way I pitched it would be like a gym for your mind. And what I mean by that would be a creative space. So you could come in, we'd have like tables and stuff that you could sit at, almost like a coffee shop kind of vibe, just like if you were to walk into your local coffee shop or a Starbucks or whatever, they have seating. You could come in, sit down, and just create. You could bring your book and you could write. You could bring, your sketch pad, whatever kind of medium that you wanted to create through your laptop, if you wanted to do some kind of digital creating, or if you were working on, say, excuse me, like a business plan, or a pitch to an important client, that's still creating. Anything like that, you could come in, sit down, and do that. Now, not only would we offer that, we wanted to do something a little bit further.
So much more, really.
Yeah. So, let's say you thought about getting into art. Let's say you wanted to paint. Maybe you wanted to try oil painting. We would have supplies and things like that set up in a space specifically dedicated to that, like an art zone, that you could come in and you could use those supplies. You could try it out, see if that's something for you. Just a place for you to create. We'd have like a writing zone, so it would have pencils, pens, books, maybe computers. We don't know. We haven't really fleshed this out completely because it's still in its infancy stages. But something like that. The big thing that I was really excited for was like a collaboration zone. So it would be a place where you could walk in, you sit down, and the whole
center.
Yeah, the collab center. And so the whole purpose of this is to pair you up with somebody else so that you two or three or four people could collaborate and brainstorm ideas together on your topic. So maybe you're working on a book and you want critiques and you want somebody else's input. You could sit down in this collab center, and it's under the assumption that you want to work with somebody else. So somebody could walk up to you and sit down with you, and you guys could talk and see if you're like-minded and see what you could come up with. Or if you're a little apprehensive about that, like going out and meeting other people, like maybe you don't want to sit down with somebody else, you could find maybe a collab center representative that could pair you up with somebody else, kind of take some of the edge off of that, the anxiety of meeting new people or whatever your apprehensions may be. That would be the collab center. I mean, we talked about, maybe pairing up with...
I have a list I'm trying to
find
that I wrote down.
I was going to say, I've got the paper in there on my desk. But another thing we wanted to do was partner up with, say, like... maybe English majors or art majors that may be having a tough time finding a job right now, partnering up with them and having them, letting them teach classes through there. So we could have, if we had the art center, maybe from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on a certain night of the week, it would be closed. Like you couldn't go in there, but you could sign up for a class and they would teach you, art fundamentals or something like that. What else did we talk about?
Having collab agents in the collab center.
Yeah.
So, collab agents in the collab center. I'm thinking, what a great job for a 16, 17-year-old right out of high school to, maybe they see a couple young people, a couple young creators who they work with personally, or just kind of walk up, like you said. Maybe that somebody walks into the collab center and they're a little nervous to, collab with somebody.
They want to. They're just not. They're not. They can't push themselves out of their comfort zone just enough to actually approach somebody.
Right. So they walk into the collab center, and a collab agent greets them, immediately makes them feel welcomed, and that it's a safe space to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And maybe they help them. Maybe they help them out and get the gears rolling a little bit. And maybe they just spoke to somebody earlier that now they can link together and get the ball rolling there.
Yeah.
So that was one thing.
We talked about like a digital suite. So like we'd have a couple of computers set up dedicated with, maybe the Adobe suite. So if you maybe shoot a video or something, but don't really have... Maybe all you have at home is iMovie or Movie Maker, and you want more of a professional editing software or software that doesn't brand or watermark your videos, you could come in and rent out a computer for, a couple hours and knock out a project or something. We even talked about maybe having a podcasting studio there that you could come in. It would be a professional setup, and you could use the studio for your podcast, whether that be you starting out and it's your first episode, or you've got some okay equipment but you want a more professional sound. Maybe you come in and rent the studio space for an hour and knock out an episode.
Right. And I don't know, did you mention like the 3D printer?
No, I didn't.
So potentially a few 3D printers that people can come in, maybe reserve, because like you said, it's going to take a long time to...
Depending on the project, it could take 20 hours or more, depending on what you're printing.
Right, but if someone doesn't want to invest a ton of money into a 3D printer and they just want to pay per project, maybe we offer that. Exactly.
So a lot of different things culminating into one location, basically, and it would be the creative space, a space specifically designed to get you creating. We talked about having, inspirational quotes and things, maybe like writer's block tips plastered around, stuff to keep you motivated, stuff to keep you creating. And like even writer's block, it can go for anything. Like even if you have just a creative block, things that work for writer's block would work for that as well. I would even like to look into like researching things that are specifically designed to help alleviate writer's block and have little stations for that. Maybe, I don't know, fidget, whatever it may be. And then you had even talked about maybe having red lights that you could rent for like red light therapy.
Right.
While you create.
Exactly. So if you spend all day in an office and it's loud, or if you work from home, working from home, a lot of people think, stress-free, but working from home can be extremely stressful. You have the distractions of being at home. Home brings a lot of distractions.
Yep.
So maybe you're not someone who gets out very much and gets a lot of sunlight. Well, that's going to lead to a lack of vitamin D in your body, in your system, and a large contributing factor to depression and anxiety is a lack of vitamin D. Yeah. Just for one little example from what red light therapy can provide to somebody. So you come in and maybe it's an extra few dollars to have a small red light panel.
Yeah, that you can just rent and set up.
Yes, set up and have it hit your face, and it's not a substitution for the sun, but it
helps.
That's the idea.
It's better than nothing.
Think of it as a meal replacement, like a supplement.
Yeah.
But it's a red light, and it's going to do its thing. So maybe that's the only vitamin D that you get for the day.
Yeah.
Maybe we can provide that for them, or have red light panels installed under the tables, above the tables.
Yeah. So that you come in, sit down, and it's there.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot. But eventually, that would be the idea.
Yeah.
And maybe...
go ahead.
I was just going to add something I just thought about. We talked about having a coffee bar or something like that.
Yeah, like a snack bar, coffee, whatever.
Right. Maybe we add, just like you can get from like a GNC or a vitamin shop, we have little boosts that we can add. Like extra shot of, vitamin B or a vitamin
B12.
Yeah. To go into your smoothie or whatever.
See that.
And... that's going to help boost, mental function. So, or just get the creative juices flowing a little bit.
So that's why you're involved in this, because I'd be like, Lay's and, whatever. Just let them eat but no, you think of the people's health, and that's important.
Well, it's just as important as the inspirational quotes and the overall atmosphere, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
The walls, the paintings, the archways, just to really...
Yeah, so that's what I had mentioned. I wouldn't want it to look like just four walls.
I think I said the phrase blank, like a blank canvas. Yeah. And I thought, you just go in and create whatever. And you said, well, that's a good idea, blank, but...
I would want the environment to also inspire creativity.
Right.
Wacky, just weird archways, connecting things, bright colors. Yeah. My thought was...
hire a local artist to come in and do their thing.
And I was thinking like old school, like the 90s McDonald's. Like not maybe not like, not hamburgers and stuff, obviously, but just, the bright colors of that and how everything was just weird and it was just McDonald's. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so something like that for the creative space, just these bright colors, just the environment to inspire creativity just as much as, the things like the materials that you use within it, I guess, and the quotes.
Right.
I think that the layout and the architecture itself should also lend to that creativity. I think you coined the term modern wackiness. I think is kind of what
something like
you had
that.
called it. Yeah.
Yeah, have the place look modern. Like, I really like the industrial look. Whenever I walk
Yeah.
into a business and it's got, it's got like brick, it's got black piping,
Yeah.
Edison bulbs and stuff like that. I really like that style, but then you throw in you put a creative spin on it and get crazy with the art
Yeah.
to really inspire people to make them think outside of the box.
Yeah.
So yeah, modern wackiness.
Yeah.
And to add to the whole atmosphere of the place, what's big for me is not just a place that inspires.
Uh-huh.
I like it because you're more on the inspiration side, like how to make it,
Yeah.
how to walk in and feel inspired.
Yeah.
I think what's important to me is providing, not that it's not important to you, but
Yeah.
to have a safe place.
Oh, of course.
A safe place
Yes.
for someone to walk in, not feel judged for whatever it is they want to do, and come in and
Yes.
not only be unjudged, but encouraged.
Yeah, well, that's what we want to try and do, not only with the creative space, but with the podcast in general and the community that we're trying to build, is there's no judgment. And we don't have, there's no tolerance for that kind of thing. Like, we don't want you going in, if it's on Twitter, if it's in a brick and mortar establishment, we don't want you going in there and just shitting all over everybody for the sake of there's a difference between constructive criticism and critiquing
Yes.
and being an asshole.
Big difference.
Yeah. And so
With anything we do, there's going to be a zero tolerance of that.
yeah. So like, I'm fine with, criticism. That's fine for the sake of being constructive and trying to help somebody. Hey, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. And sometimes that can come across a little harsh, and we can handle that as we go, and a case by case basis. But if you're coming in and you're just, oh, that sucks, or oh, you should just quit, or things like that. Like, there's none of that here.
Nope.
Not here, because we want people to create, and that's one of the big hurdles for people creating is the fear of being judged and being like, well, people are going to say it sucks. People aren't going to like it, and so they just don't create. And we don't want any of that here, because we want you to start creating, because if you never start,
You'll never know.
yeah,
You'll never. The word fail. You don't fail until you stop.
yeah,
So I don't like the word fail, but you just find different ways, different things that don't work.
Yeah.
We want to create a culture. We want CS in general
Yeah.
to be a culture, no matter what we do, for people to come in, try out their art form.
yep,
Maybe it's not what if they're wanting to build an audience or
Yeah.
fans, maybe it's not what they want. Well, you didn't fail. You just found one way that didn't work.
yeah,
And I think that's what Thomas Edison said. The freaking incandescent light. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't get it right on the first time. He said, but I never failed. He said, I just found about 1,000 different ways that didn't work.
yeah,
So whatever it is, if you want to create the next light bulb,
yeah.
you're welcome. Like, come on in.
And maybe you find something new. Maybe you come in and that's what you like, and then you go, oh, I like this hobby too. Like, maybe you come in and you're a writer and you find a certain type of...
We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. A certain type of, I don't know, a new hobby, whether it's woodworking or whatever it may be, that you just are like, oh, okay, I like this too, and I want to try it.
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, and we want that we want that culture, whether it's the podcast or a physical location
Yep.
that we one day open.
Yeah.
And that's our, I think that's the new goal.
I really think it is.
Why stop here?
Yeah. I don't remember who went first last time. I think you did.
I think I did too.
I think you did. So it is the Curtis segment.
The gumball
The
challenge
magical
segment.
gumball segment. So
For those of you listening, Trey has his hand, he is wrist deep in a
trying not
gumball
to pull that
machine.
glass off.
It is a red gumball, so this is going to be a physical challenge. Do we call them physical challenges?
I mean, they're not always physical.
That's safe to say.
2-minute acupuncture.
You get it right back.
Yep.
I had it 2 weeks ago. You get the 2-minute acupuncture on the acupressure pad. And you tried it after I tried it.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. If you'd like to see my beautiful feet stand on a... If you're into that kind of thing, I ain't judging. Like we said, we don't judge.
All right. Yeah, no, we don't. All right. How do we want to do this?
If you'll grab the mat, I'll grab the webcam.
Okay.
Get barefoot. This is going to be extra special.
That wasn't the acupuncture yet. That was a gumball.
That was a
gumball piece.
So, 2 weeks ago, or that would be episode 5?
Yeah, I think it was 5.
Possibly 5.
I think it was our first. Oh no!
It was Jake.
It was Jake. So
it hasn't.
Well, it has aired as of this.
Yeah.
It aired. Yeah, that would have been 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So if you're watching right now, it's 2 episodes before this. I had to stand on the acupressure pad. If you'd like to hold it up and show the viewing audience how sharp these little things actually are, it is quite intense, and I'm thinking Trey's going to have an easier time because he walks around barefoot literally everywhere. But it's still no walk in the park.
Yeah. So as of this recording, what was it, like maybe 3 weeks ago now? I was walking through the hallway and turned and got a splinter in my foot randomly.
That's right.
And like it hurt going in, and then once it was in, like I was fine. And Morgan like was trying to get it.
It was fine once it was in.
Yeah, and you know that's usually how it goes. And like Morgan was trying to get it out, and it didn't hurt.
Go on.
Yeah, and so like I don't know. I because I walk around barefoot, I've got calluses. So yeah, that was just a long way around of me saying that.
Okay.
I've got my timer here for 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. So we will. All right. Get ready. Get
all right.
set.
Go ahead.
Go. Woo. Okay.
Kind of tingles.
Kind of tingles.
Yeah.
Let me get around here so we can see. Actually, can you turn around? I want people to see what we're working with here. There's a very special element to Trey's feet that we need to get.
Yeah, there's not good lighting. Oh, you meant you want to turn around?
I just want to see your. I want to see your toes, man. And I think the people.
How's that? They're pink for those listening.
They're freaking pink. So Trey has a daughter.
I do have a daughter.
As do I. And I know the importance of making them happy.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Nora loves to have Trey's toes painted. Or am I wrong by saying that? And Trey just loves to have his toes painted.
The world may never know. No, she likes to, because she'll come up with it and she'll go, she can't talk yet. So she goes, Ma, and like hands me fingernail paint. And like, part of her wants her toes, like wants it painted, but the other part wants to, like, she likes to paint. So when she paints my nails, she paints my toes, like not just the nails, but the toes themselves. So I have paint like all the way up my toes. I'm at 30 seconds, by the way. We got 30 seconds left.
So yeah, I remember watching you walk. So how is it right now?
It's not bad until I shifted and got my toes. But like on the outsides of my feet, like towards the right, well, towards the outsides of my feet, like I don't really feel it. That's what I'm saying. Like I've got the calluses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Well done, sir.
Thank you. It hurt like right in the centers of my feet because I don't have very much callus there, but where it's built up like on the outer edges of my feet and like I guess the heel, and then like I guess it would be the balls of my feet, like they call it the ball of your feet, like right here.
Yeah.
I don't feel it. So
well,
I will say, like, for me, I didn't feel pain. It just felt cold.
Yeah.
Like that's the best way I could describe it. Like my feet just started feeling cold.
Maybe you're dying.
Probably. Like that's it. But it didn't hurt until like I shifted and it got my toes and it got like that little meat in between like the pads of my toes, like right there under the knuckle. That's where it hurt, and I was like, ah. But yeah, I mean, it just like my feet felt cold and I could feel it up. Like I almost felt cold up in my calves.
Okay,
which
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's the first time blood has flown to your.
Well, so I have
flown.
It just flew on down there, and
blood just sprouted wings and
just went on
flew
down.
on, big dog.
No, so I have poor circulation in my feet, so they get cold. Like they're like ice. Anyways.
Well, you probably needed that.
Probably,
really.
That's
bad.
probably what it was. Is the blood was flowing into my feet. My feet were like, "What do we do?
Why is it spicy?"
Why is it spicy?
I'm gonna go ahead and reset this timer for 30 minutes, and we're at the 42-minute mark. So you think we go ahead and give our guest a call?
Yeah. Go ahead and text him and get him ready. Ready for his interview.
You can see the little dots on my feet. Only on the pads though. Like if you look out. Yeah, you can't even see you see this? You can't even see the dots on my, like it's just on the insides.
Okay, see that's weird. So whenever you use an acupressure pad,
yeah,
especially if you use it on your back, like if you lay down and use it, when you stand up and when you get off the mat, which is probably the hardest part.
Yeah, you have all the.
Your back looks like hamburger meat. It looks like the worst sunburn you've ever had, and all of the little divots. Made me think of the line from Space Jam. He's fixing a divot.
Oh,
yeah, your back looks like hamburger meat. So if you want a fun challenge or improve your circulation wherever you need it, order an acupressure pad on Amazon.
Yeah.
I wish I could say we had a link in our description to give us a kickback, but I don't. We don't have an Amazon store yet.
Not yet.
With all the crap that we do, I feel like having an Amazon store is going to be...
It'll be a thing.
It'll definitely be a thing.
I'm going to fix this rocky chair. Hold on. What's up, guys? Just Trey here today for the giveaway. Josh is out of town right now. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the winner. And since this episode is dropping in, I don't know, like 45-ish minutes, I'm going to make this really quick. So episode 9's entrance. So these are the people that have retweeted and liked our last pinned post and followed us. They are Liz, Morel, Dev Kumar, and Victor H. So I'm going to go ahead and swap over here to our random number generator. It's a number of 1 through 4. So I'm going to show this to the camera really quick, hit generate, and we're going to get a winner. So the number that was generated was 1, which corresponds with Liz. So Liz, congratulations, you are this week's $5 Amazon gift card winner. Thank you for liking and retweeting our pinned post. Thank you for the support. Thank you for following us. And I see that you've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, so congratulations. I hope you enjoy your $5 Amazon gift card. And if you would like to be one of our week's winners, all you have to do is like and retweet our pinned post every week and follow us so that we can DM you for details, get your email, and get that gift card sent on over to you. Back to us. It rocks, and I'm blaming Gary Bankston for that, not Aaron Bankston.
It's probably Gary's fault.
Yeah, it's probably Gary's fault.
Yeah.
Double shit out. You think David's ready?
I just texted him. Let me make sure.
I'm going to go ahead and drop over here. I am connected. You can tell him to just drop into the general chat on the Discord. And once he drops in, he should know what that means. Just tell him to connect like we connected earlier.
Okay.
And once he jumps in, we'll be able to hear him.
Okay. Cool. Well, while we wait for him...
Theoretically, we should be able to hear him. I don't know. I tested it out. I got it to where it worked, but who knows? Maybe it'll do something weird and we won't be able to hear him. So
we're not live. We like to keep it we like to not hit stop.
Hey, speaking of live, what else have we thrown around about doing?
We have thrown around live streaming every Sunday some type of video game.
Yeah, and so as of this recording, we haven't done it yet, but maybe once this episode is live, we may have 1 or 2 live streams under our belt. Who knows?
Yeah, and I think we're going to do it here on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
I've done my research, and I think that is definitely our move.
Yeah.
Is to start.
There he is. Can you hear us?
Yo.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we have on the voice chat, we have old David.
Old David Cantrell himself.
Heck yeah.
Welcome, sir. How are you this evening?
A little sore, but you know what? That's good. That's good. It means we're doing things right.
That's David's forte nowadays. Just he stays sore because he stays in the gym. He stays on the wrestling mat.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do today is talk to David about how he molds himself and how he stays the sexy beast that he is.
The peak athleticism that he does stuff.
All right, Trey, would you like to tell David what you have nicknamed him? As you're chewing your...
I can do it after chicken.
As your chicken. So, he picked up his fried chicken that he makes, his gluten-free fried chicken.
You can't even tell.
That he crushes up Cheerios to make with it. And that sounds really ridiculous, but...
That's good.
It is the tastiest thing on planet Earth.
So, Mr. Beast of the Southeast himself, welcome. How are you?
It's wonderful, man.
That's good, man. It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's getting down there.
It is getting down there.
It keeps getting deeper. Every time I talk to him, I'm like...
Yeah, he came on and he was like, yo. And I was like, okay. Did we get David or who is this?
Or do we have Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
Well, actually, Brock Lesnar's voice isn't deep at all.
But I say his voice is like a pitch higher than mine.
However, David he still suffers. So like we told you guys earlier, he's 16. And he still suffers every now and then from a voice crack or two.
I'm 27 and I still get a voice crack.
He's pretty good at it. So, like we told you guys earlier, David is a amateur high school wrestler.
Yep.
And David, my first question to you, sir, is going to be, why wrestling? Why is wrestling your passion? What drives you to be a wrestler?
There's a few things behind that. One, it's tougher than any other sport. Which, I mean, to other people, it's kind of like, oh, this guy's a wrestler. Like, which to me, that's kind of cool because it makes me the underdog. Because it's like, oh, okay, come onto the wrestling mat, and then you know, make that face or say, oh, this guy's a wrestler. You know, like, it's a really tough sport. I mean, it involves the whole body. You know, like it involves everything. Your legs, your arms. I mean, it's the true test of strength. You're having to use basically every part of your body to throw this other person around, to tire them out, and to beat them.
While getting thrown
and
around yourself.
Yeah, and you're also being thrown around.
So the challenge...
And I just also love the competitive aspect as well. It's super competitive.
So it sounds like you really enjoy the challenge. It challenges you mentally, physically, and... You've probably never had a challenge like that. I mean, I know you played a little basketball when you were younger, but from what you're telling me and from just knowing you, you really love the challenge and overcoming it and finding different ways to overcome those challenges.
Well, and the chance to prove himself, right? It's kind of what it seems like too. Talking about being the underdog and being like, okay, oh, you think I'm you think wrestling is wimpy or you know whatever people may think. Oh, it's not tough. Like,
right? Yeah. That's
cool. And it's just because it's like, I mean, I also love that it's a mental thing because, I mean, I still get emotional every once in a while if I lose a match because it'll be like, I took it to like the third round and then the guy ends up pinning me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wow, I could have survived this guy and then I still ended up getting pinned. You know, but it's also, you know, it's physically and mentally and it's, you know, that's also another thing I really like about it.
I think that's something that not a lot of people think about.
Yeah.
You think about a high school kid and you hear that they're involved in wrestling or that they're involved in football. A lot of parents who maybe never did play sports in high school or participated, or maybe they did and they've just forgotten about truly how emotional it is. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, you're trying to prove yourself. Winning and losing a match could mean your mood in the classroom
Yeah.
for the next week. It could determine how confident you are with talking to somebody of the opposite sex or something like that. And if you go out there and you crush it and you demolish it, you're on cloud 9. But if you lose, I mean,
like cloud -4.
cloud -4.
Yeah.
So overcoming that as a teenager and like as a young man who's trying to find his own identity, and if wrestling is your identity and you lose, that can take a big hit. But that's where David has been so good at. I'll get a call from him. He'll say, like he just did, I went to a round 3 and then got pinned, and I'll just say, all right, man. Well, you learned something, and he always says that. He goes, but I learned something, and he always explains to me what he learned, and then he goes on and makes sure that he doesn't carry that attitude, the negative attitude from losing, into his next match. That's what he's so good at.
So David, from these matches, talking about, as Josh has put it, you've learned something. What are some things that you've taken away from wrestling that you've carried over into your personal life, whether that be school, whether that be at home, or do you work? I don't know. Does he work? No. Okay, I was gonna say work life, or potential work life, future work life, things like that, relationships, whatever it may be. What are some things you've taken away that you were able to take away from wrestling and apply it in other aspects?
I've heard it. I've heard this from an idol of mine. I've heard it from an idol of mine, and I mean, I just kind of heard it as like, oh, he's saying that, like, hey, he said it because it's cool or whatever. But no, it's if like whenever I would lose, it was always like I felt like something was just holding me down. But it was always this thought of that loss.
Okay.
And it was kind of like I had to learn a few times. I had to lose a few times to get it. But it's like if I lose, you just pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and move on from it. Because, I mean, there's always something in there to learn. But if you carry that burden around with you, then you're just going to – you're never going to forget about it, and it's just going to weigh you down. So you just got to pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and walk away from it. Take what you can from it. Whether that was if you got caught in a move, that would just mean don't get caught in it again. And it just whatever happened in that match is just taking whatever you learn from that, and then just moving on from it.
So you're saying that you can take that idea and apply it to maybe something in the real world, where if you maybe mess up in school or you get in trouble with your parents or something like that, don't let that keep you down. Turn that into something positive.
Just if you get in trouble with your parents, or if you fail a test or something, I mean, your life's not over. I mean, it happened. I mean, I'll be honest, I failed a test just last week, and I've just kind of had to be like, well, I got to move on from it. I can't linger on it. I got to move on from it and do better next time.
Well, that's a pretty cool thing that I think kids being involved in sports, that's a huge thing that they learn is discipline and just that maturity of don't let this weigh me down.
Yeah.
And there's also times where you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to sit there and be like shit, like no, this is BS. Like I shouldn't have lost that match. I shouldn't have failed that test. And I feel like that's the true test of it, is that it's like, I mean, there are literally times where I'll linger on it for 2 days, and then eventually I realize, like, man, I need to let go of this, So I think that's the true test of it, is that it shows, like, you need to let go of it eventually.
That's a good frame of mind to have that not a lot of people, I think, nowadays really have.
Especially not 16 years old.
Yeah, exactly. It's very easy to dwell on past mistakes, whatever that may be, screw ups, anything like that. It's very easy to dwell on that, things that get you down, and to be able to break away from that mentally and say, you know what, it's life. It'll be fine. Like, I can move on from this. I think that's a very healthy mindset to have.
Right. I think so too. So we talked about how to overcome defeats and temporary losses and things like that.
Yeah.
David, give us an example of a moment where you succeeded, you excelled, you had just a really awesome moment in wrestling, and you thought, man, I am on top of the world right now. Give us just one example. You've told me a few stories, but give us one moment where you were just like, yeah, like, let's go.
In front of all these fans, let them know.
Yeah.
Right now, big dog.
Of all these fans, big dog.
You know it.
Probably at the Liberty Duels. Because we got penalized because a bunch of us cut weight super quick and we turned in our weight sheet too late, and I ended up cutting like 10 pounds in a week or whatever because I was on a crash diet and I was also wrestling at the same time.
10 pounds?
So I lost. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, I was doing that and wrestling at the same time, so it dropped super quick, and we weren't supposed. And I wasn't the only one doing that. It was me, my buddy Ben. I think one other person was doing it, and we weren't supposed to drop weight as quick as we were, and we got penalized for it. And I got my weight back up or whatever, and I was 152 in the 160 weight class, but I wrestled once at the Liberty Duels as our like penalty or whatever.
You just cut out for like a second. Tell your weight class and the weight class you had to wrestle one more time.
So I was weighing in at like 152, but I was wrestling, like my weight class was 160. So, I mean, I could still eat and stuff. So I was, a good bit below 160. So, for our penalty, we had to wrestle up 10 pounds. So I was wrestling 170 at 152.
Oh my God!
And I wrestled a guy from High Point and a guy from let's see, where was he from? I can't remember where he's from. I can't remember what the school was, but they had black singlets. But I wrestled him. He was a big old tall dude. Super big old tall dude. I went all 3 periods with him. He didn't pin me. And then my second match, I wrestled a guy from High Point, and I pinned him. And that was a big moment for me because I wrestled 20 pounds under and absolutely destroyed the guy. So.
Yeah, and talk about overcoming adversity.
Yeah.
His team was penalized, and the penalty was wrestling somebody bigger.
Yeah.
So something that's going to be on a person's permanent wrestling like performance record, because the school determined or the officials determined, which is just total BS if you ask me. That is not the right penalty. That's not the right way to penalize a high school athlete. Is to deliberately make their job harder.
Yeah.
There's weight classes for a freaking reason. I won't go off on that, but that fires me up a little bit. But despite that, and this was one of your first varsity matches or first varsity wins, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so
wow.
varsity, 20 pounds heavier, and still pin the guy.
Yeah,
like that's pretty cool to me.
You talk about respect. You got a lot of respect after that, right, David?
Yeah, I got some respect for it.
That's awesome. So, in order to achieve these kinds of things, you can't be a slouch. You can't just go about your day, unless you just have some weird natural Terminator that's living inside of you.
I knew somebody like that.
Yeah?
Like, all joking aside, not the Terminator, but just a guy that, never worked out, never did anything like that, just did his own thing, but was just naturally just ripped. You talk about mad.
And but something about those people? They don't get these lessons that David's getting.
No, they don't.
That's the cool part. Like, there's so many pro wrestlers that I know who couldn't teach you how to do an arm drag. They couldn't teach you how to give a body slam properly.
Yeah.
They just know they can do it. But when it comes to somebody who's not the fastest learner, pointing at myself here, once I learn it, I know the ins and outs of it. I can turn around and teach it.
Yeah.
Which is why I do.
Yeah, as I say, that's what you do.
So, anyways, David, to achieve things like that, you got to have a routine. So, I know there's not many 16-year-olds who have a routine like yours. There's not many adults that have routines like yours. Walk us through a day of David when you wake up until you go to bed. What do you do? And you don't have to break down every meal item, but just give us a general idea of what you eat, how physical you are, what that looks like.
I'll break down what today was like. So I got up this morning, did my 20 clap push-ups as soon as I wake up. Oh, excuse me. I woke up this morning, did my 20 clap push-ups, got my aminos in, just kind of chilled out for a minute, just waking up. Cooked up some breakfast, just got some eggs and hash browns, a cup of milk with it. Got my clothes on, got my Chromebook together, got my gym bag together, put my pre-workout, my lifting straps in there, my lifting clothes. I think I might have already said that. Put that all in my gym bag, got all that ready. And this is all in the span of like maybe an hour and a half or so. And I get out the door, go to school, go to my first period, walk in there, get through my first period, do my work in there, go down to math class after that, my second period, which that's always the fun class because I get to just, I don't know, I'm kind of a class clown in that class.
I can see that. Knowing you, I can see that.
Just because that's me. But I still get my work done, even though I'm clowning around. I always like to get my work done before I do stuff like that. Then I go to study hall. Study hall is like my lunchtime. There's 2 lunch periods, so I get to sit in both lunch periods or whatever. So I go in there. I usually get two of everything at lunch. 2 cartons of white milk. Down that. Do some like schoolwork or whatever in study hall. If I got something to do. Second lunch period comes around, I usually get something small, like maybe an apple or something, with like another meal and some milk, of course. And then after that, I go to weightlifting in 4th period, workout. Then just do whatever workout they got for the day, which I love working out with my buddy Jeremiah. He's really cool. Then I get out of weightlifting.
How long is
school's
weightlifting?
over. It's about an hour and 45 minutes.
So, wow. Just for those of you not keeping tally, he woke up with push-ups.
Yeah.
And, I mean, most people don't do 20 push-ups in a day.
Yeah.
He's waking up with them and then doing weightlifting for almost 2 hours later on in the day.
Now, David, do you count? Are you a calorie counter? Like, are you keeping track of what you're eating, or are you just eating for the sake of you need the fuel, so you're just kind of fueling your body?
I'm eating for the sake of fueling my body,
okay.
And I'm eating for the sake of fueling my body.
Yeah.
And I'm just eating a bunch. I just know I need to eat a bunch to gain the weight and gain the muscle.
Okay, I was just curious because I know some, like, if you're trying to hit a certain goal or something, you're going, okay, maybe I need to eat 1,000 calories more or something. Like, I don't know. I know some people keep a close eye on that, so I didn't know if that was part of your routine or not.
Yeah, I got you. But I do. It's about an hour and 30 minutes to an hour and 45 minutes, depending on what time we like end or whatever. Depending on like what our last circuit of the day is, because we'll do our normal like weight lift, because we'll do a warm up and then we'll do our weightlifting and then we'll do our end of the day circuit and whatever he wants us to do.
Okay.
Which we didn't do that today because we maxed out today. Which we did a remax day because you max out at the beginning of the quarter and then max out again at the end to see how much strength you gained. We did like a
real quick. I don't mean to interrupt you. Tell everybody listening what your PRs for your main lifts were the last time they documented it and what they were
today. I guess
today. Yeah. What you updated me with.
So at the beginning of the quarter, I did At the beginning of the quarter, I was only benching like 160.
And what would be considered the beginning of the quarter, like January?
Uh, yeah, yeah,
So January would be like the beginning. So 160.
yeah.
Okay.
So I was benching 160, back squatting about 190 or so. And I was deadlifting around like I'll say 245. Yeah, it was around like 245. I was power cleaning about so was it 140? No. It was 155. I was power cleaning about 155. And I was front squatting. Gosh, I can't remember when my first front squat was. I think we did 3 rep max on that.
It's all good. You move on.
Yeah, I don't know that one because we're remaxing out on that tomorrow, and we're remaxing on close grip tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you haven't maxed those out yet.
That's cool.
Yeah, which I mean, I've already maxed them out, which was from like the first time, but I can't remember what I did. I think it might have been it was 185. 185. That's what it was.
Gotcha.
Those sound like good numbers to me. I don't.
But
considering his weight, and how much did you weigh at that time?
At that time, it was about 155.
155 bench pressing. You were 155 bench pressing 190.
160.
160. That's right. Sorry. Spoiler. I had a current number in my head. Sorry, my bad. 155 benching 160.
Yeah.
So a little over his body weight.
Yeah.
155 squatting. What was it? 190.
Yep, 190.
That's where I got 190 from. That's a lot more.
Sounds good.
That's pretty solid. All right, continue with
your current, what you maxed today.
Yeah.
So I maxed deadlift and power clean. I deadlifted 300 today. I could have gotten 315, but we didn't have enough time. I know for sure I could have gotten 315. But I deadlifted 300, power cleaned 165, so 10 pounds from last time, which I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah.
I'm now, my last time, which was yesterday, I maxed my back squat with 280, and I benched 190.
Jeez.
So 30-pound increase on the bench press in 3 months. That's solid.
Yeah.
That's somebody who's working.
Yeah.
That's somebody who's improving. And you increased your back squat by 90 pounds. No, yeah, 90 pounds. If he was doing 190, 280, that's 90 pounds.
Yeah.
That is massive. And you sent me a picture of you the other day leg pressing. We might, if we can, throw that up on the screen.
Yeah.
And hopefully by the time we record this, by the time we publish this, we can get
I'm going to make a mark of it on my phone.
Okay. We can get a video, and we'll go ahead and throw the video up of you doing possibly some squats, maybe some bench pressing, and just you in action and you in general. And maybe a little bit later or earlier in the video, we'll have you maybe in action on the mat. So, well, that's impressive, dude. That should let people know what you do, what you're all about when it comes to improving. And if you're not improving, you're moving backwards. So, what do you do as far as like studying wrestling? Like, how do you get better at your craft? Because one of the biggest reasons I wanted to have you on is it's the CS podcast. It's create stuff.
Yeah.
It's anybody who has a craft that they can perfect. In amateur wrestling,
It's a craft.
Is a craft inside and out. It is such an art. Learning how to manipulate another body, while it's resisting
without
100
breaking your own.
Right. And while your body is resisting 100% of what you're trying to do, you got to be crafty. So you got to have
Yeah.
technique. So David, what do you do to improve your technique?
I mean, improving technique. I mean, that also just goes with going to wrestling practice and stuff. But with like studying wrestling, I like watching like the greats like Jordan Burroughs or Kyle Snyder, and just really watching, uh, like really kind of watching how they pick their opportunities, because that's one thing I was good at the end of this season. Like I could take a shot, and it was probably the most crisp it has ever been, and I like it got a lot at the beginning of the season. It was like, okay, it's my second year. I'm kind of getting back. I'm kind of finding where I'm at, but the shot got better and better. But it was also because I was studying like the greats, like Jordan Burroughs, Kyle Snyder, Kurt Angle, just kind of seeing how they create their opportunities, and like seeing how they tie up and stuff. And a lot of times it's either they're tying up just for a second, but a lot of times they'll tie it with you for just a second, and then they go straight for a shot. And as soon as they grab the legs, they just drive and they keep going. And that's one thing I got stuck on, was I would either go for the shot and I wouldn't drive, or pick up or anything, and I would just kind of sit there and try to just like pull their legs towards me. And that's one thing I got kind of stuck on. But I mean, towards the end of the season, it was a lot better because I was actually starting to run forward with it.
You improved. You saw what you were doing wrong. I'm sure your coach was helping you with that, and you evaluated, readjusted, and moved forward. That's the kind of stuff I was looking for.
Yeah.
This is what I was excited about, was hearing him talk about watching the greats and when they timed their opportunities, or noticing and realizing the opportunities. To somebody inexperienced and somebody who's not working on their craft, they're not able to do that.
And you think about how many people go into it and like they don't do that. That's what sets people like David apart from those that are just going through the motion and just like, I just want to go out there and wrestle. Like,
Yeah.
David has the drive to be great because he's learning from those that are great.
Right. I'm sure.
Well, it's because man, I want to make it like, I'm not like, I'll be honest, I don't want to wrestle in college, but I want to make an impact while I'm here in high school. Like, I want to make an impact. Like, I want to make sure, I leave something behind. Like I want people to know, like, okay, that guy was a good wrestler. Like that's what I kind of want to leave behind.
Nice, man. Well, that's really cool. It's cool to dive in the mind of somebody who's really invested in what they're currently creating / doing and performing, and that's really what we wanted to talk to you about. So we appreciate you talking about that. And I'm sure people listening, if you're not into amateur wrestling at all, maybe you are, and maybe you just got something from this. And if you want to ask David any questions, be sure to comment below.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment.
If you're listening, iTunes, Spotify, hit us up on Twitter or Instagram, pretty much any of our social medias. You can drop questions. You can add us and you can ask and say, hey, pass this along to David. We want to know.
And we'll get it to him, and I know he'll be happy to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
So yeah, that's really what we wanted. So David, I'm gonna make the mood a little more lighthearted, a little more playful, and talk about a little project you and I created quite some years ago. I'm talking about 0017 and James Pond.
Oh man.
So hopefully by the time this is published, we will have a picture up on the screen of myself and a very young David. Well, a very young me too.
0017, you asshole.
So that's going to be up on screen hopefully. And what that was, so I've known David since he was 5. He's currently 16. And we put together a little video, a little project.
12. What's his problem?
What is
Gotta get it right.
I can't hear him.
So
12 years old. What the heck?
yeah, so very tiny. I mean, his head was probably up to a little past my waist.
Yeah.
And now he's every bit of an inch taller than I am right now, which isn't saying a lot. It's like saying you're taller than me is like saying you're the nicest guy in prison. But
Well, I'm taller than you, so.
Well, I've never been to prison, so I can't.
Get big, homie.
So, anyways, 0017 and James Bond was a little spoof of clearly the James Bond movies, and we were just two 00 agents out to beat the bad guy. We successfully did it, but we did things like we had a shot of a little toy car, and you would get a quick shot of the toy car going by the camera with a quick little James Bond tune going.
Yeah.
David, clearly not old enough to drive, barely old enough to drive now. I had an old work truck that I shot David getting into, starting the truck. We switched seats. I got in the seat, but you really couldn't see me at all. And it was just me flying back out of the driveway, kicking up dirt and rocks, heading down the road. He was coming to save me in that scene. I'm pretty sure me and David, I had a bar in the house that I was living at.
Yeah.
Like just a piece of wood. And we walked up to it, set the camera up to the side, and I said, "Vodka martini, shaken, not stirred." And David walks up and says something like, "I'll have a."
I remember it. It was I'll have a. I'll have a chocolate milk. Hold the scotch.
Or chocolate milk and scotch, hold the scotch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how much fun we had with that. The whole thing had music. I edited it on Windows Movie Maker and a really slow, crappy laptop. But that was one of the best pieces of material ever. We had so much fun doing that. I don't know that there's any way I could recover that footage.
I wish you could. That would be great to just pop in right here.
God, if I can, I will. But
yeah.
Anyways.
Well, there's another video project that David partook in.
So before we move on to that, David, being a child when this happened, what do you remember from making that video? Just like if you had fun, if you hated it, if I was too bossy because I was trying to make sure it was perfect and I didn't let myself have enough fun. What do you remember from that? Just your thoughts and feelings from that memory.
I remember. I mean, this is a long time ago. I remember, little snippets of it in my head. I remember it being really fun. I just remember it being a happy time, Like, it was super fun being like, yeah, this is a cool project. This is something that, this is awesome. I was for sure having the time of my life at that point because I was like, man, I'm doing like a super cool skit. So
you're a movie star. Like, why wouldn't you be having a great time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that's what I remember. I remember it being super fun. And no, you weren't bossy. Or at least not from what I remember.
Now,
David,
unless
you were just...
Were you 0017 or were you James Bond?
I was 0017.
Okay. I was just curious. I started thinking about it. I was like, it was two people. Which one were you?
That's the great thing about having somebody as young as him do these things, because when you're that young, your memory is just, you don't have anything else to cloud up.
Yeah, it's
stuff like that.
It's just clear. Crisp, clean.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have remembered which one we were, but you were going to bring up something recent.
Oh, David. Yeah, do you remember David? Just going to leave it at that and let you think.
He's probably confused.
Do I remember David?
David.
Oh! Yeah.
That's all you had to do was say it that way. David.
Yeah, I remember it.
I still have that video. We need to post it.
So, spoiler, we do have it. We might play it in the middle of the show.
Yeah, I may as well throw it in right here. I don't have it queued up to play right now.
Right.
So the password is capital P A S S W.
Wait, is it just
No, it's not. It's not what you're thinking. Right. W O.
David.
So the password is 1, 2, 3, 4,
Wait,
5.
is it just gonna be
No,
like?
it's not what you're thinking. 5, 6.
Oh, I had the leprechaun hat on.
I forgot about that.
It's just all these weird, wacky, just. Oh man, you in the bathroom?
Be in the yeah.
My favorite thing was filming. Was just holding the phone against, holding the phone at like Trey's face and trying to keep a straight face. He just like looking to the camera and start laughing.
My favorite part was when we poured the water on your head to make you sweat.
Oh, I had this vision of David sweating profusely. And I'm like, let's just dump water over his head.
Didn't I like spit in your face on accident?
I'm pretty sure you did.
We had like a towel under you.
We were just on my couch and like I had a bottle of water pouring over his head. I'm pretty sure I cracked David up the first time because I was laughing so
He
hard.
was soaked because we kept having to redo it.
He was soaked. Oh, my God.
Oh man,
It was a random. It was just a random Friday night.
Well, it started because I think David did. One of us farted. And we just,
No, it was me.
Was it you?
I
Okay.
farted. Yeah, and because I can't remember which one of y'all said it, but I farted, and y'all go, and one of y'all went, David.
Oh man! And
One of
that's
the other things I remember about that day was we listened to Post Malone's freaking "Take What You Want From Me," and then I think it was like Trey started. Oh yeah, Trey acted like he had 2 pistols in his hand.
Oh
And it
yeah,
was
the
just, I don't
shootout.
know. Yeah, we had like a fun little shootout.
I forgot
And
we
then
had a
Josh was like-
shootout.
the
was like-
little Western skit that we made.
Yes.
And I was like, you put our hands up, and I was like, oh, we're not in trouble. And you say, yeah.
Oh, did he cut out?
Oh no, you cut out.
What a time to cut out. Or did he? I wonder if he did it on purpose.
No.
Okay.
Oh, say what
like,
you just said again.
go
All I
ahead.
heard was
What happened?
David, come back.
All you heard was what?
Yeah.
or something like that.
Okay, so it was whenever we were doing the shootout, and Trey was like, y'all in trouble now, boys. And I was like, no, partner, you're in trouble. And it was like, yeah. And we just,
It sounded like it cut out again.
got up,
But
started.
that's so funny. Oh my gosh.
I legitimately forgot about the shootout.
I thought that in my head, the only thing I remember before us creating the David
Yeah.
skit, because our inspiration was Balloon Shop.
Yep.
That style of shooting.
Mate.
Well, earlier David said his friend Ben.
Yeah, Ben.
And I looked at Trey and I mouthed the word
Rodney.
Ben.
Ben.
What did you say, David?
Rodney.
Oh, Rodney.
Rodney. Oh my gosh.
I remember being in.
Yeah.
I remember in the kitchen. He goes, Rodney, and then Josh is like, God, and then Trey's like, oh yeah, I can get loud.
That's a whole other thing. I don't even know if I told you about, like, I actually went into the depths of what Rodney even means.
You explained to me.
Yeah, you started reading it. And I mean, it was funny. I heard some parts of it that were funny, but I really didn't know like what you were talking about.
That's for just a whole nother conversation. When I have a buddy Brian who I have a band with, or I guess had a band with. We haven't played in a while, but when he comes on, I will dive further into Rodney for the viewers. Because that is a whole nother. I didn't even know he knew about Rodney. I forgot I did that.
So I remember on the way to pick David up. So you came to my house,
yeah,
and you explained Rodney to me on the way to pick up David,
yeah,
from the gas station we were picking him up from, and his parents dropped him off. We didn't.
Yeah,
David's
yeah.
not just hanging out at a
Chilling
random
at it.
gas station. So we went and picked him up, and we got on the topic of Rodney. 'Cause
Yeah.
I knew David would find that hilarious. But that was the day I was introduced to Rodney. That was a fun night. So I don't know if it'll be shown before what I'm saying right now or after, but yeah, we'll throw up because it's not a very long clip.
No, it's a couple minutes.
It was a couple minutes, but
Yeah.
just like all of our stuff, it takes forever.
And it's a slow burn. Like it's meant to make you just super uncomfortable and funny. Like it's really, it harkens back to that old school YouTube, just that weird comedy.
Exactly. The balloon shop comedy
Yeah.
that inspired this video that I'm such a fan of. But yeah, that is an example of us creating something.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that we had that to talk about. I totally forgot about that you were going to bring up David.
And that's the name of the video, just David with a period.
David with a period. That's it. Well, David, we're going to turn you loose, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and can't wait to have you back on again.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, don't be a stranger. We'll have you on again now that we figured out how to make the audio work.
How to actually work this thing.
Heck yeah.
All right, brother. Well, you have a good evening. Go eat something and go lift something.
Oh yeah, we'll be lifting for sure, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, see you, fellas.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Nice kid.
What a
fantastic young man.
What else was I about to say? What a wonderful young man. So that was David.
David. God,
man, all the memories, the David stories that will probably get brought up.
there's so many. I mean, even in my short amount of time, like with him, I have a few.
Yeah, he is such a character. He's so much mature than he was before. What
I paused it. Well, I paused it. It was going to go off earlier, and I was like, nah, I don't want to cut David off. So I paused it at 10 seconds.
Nice. Okay. All right. For those of you listening, it's the second Curtis challenge. It is my turn to draw out of Curtis's head. Oh, it's a yellow
You
one.
would get a yellow. You get all the yellow ones. I don't think I've gotten a yellow one. All mine have been challenges.
Right. Yeah, it's last week and this week.
Well, I think even our first week, you had a Would You Rather.
That's right.
Yeah. What'd you get?
Favorite band.
Ooh.
That's going to be a tough one because I have been on, since staying with you, I've been on quite the music adventure.
Yeah.
And I have, I got one right out of, put that back in there?
Yeah, throw it back in there. I haven't answered it yet, so.
Yeah. Just off the top of my head, overall, like, when I was, let's just say 05 to 2010.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. Probably who I spent the most time listening to was My Chemical Romance.
That's fine. I get that.
At my core, that is not my favorite style of music.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite style of music is something a little heavier. When I think of them, it's tough to think of rock and metal. It's not.
Yeah.
That's not how I would classify them. Is that how you'd classify them?
They're emo.
Emo.
It's like an emo. Yeah.
That's kind of, yeah. But, as far as
it depends on, like, what album you're listening to. They're kind of punky, like...
Yeah.
They do transcend kind of genres, in my opinion. Like, they do a lot.
Okay. So,
Now, this is coming from somebody that... Kind of a hot take. People probably disagree with it. I'm not a big My Chemical Romance fan. I'm just not. I never got into them.
I could easily see me.
Yeah.
Like, typical me would not be a fan.
Yeah. But I'd always been, more on the heavier side myself. So, like, for me, like, My Chemical Romance was kind of like, I mean, it was good, but I was just like, it's not my jam.
Right.
So I never really listened to them.
If you listen to more heavy, I could see somebody looking at My Chem as, nah, that's not my style. I can totally agree and see that and get on board with that. But right now, I would have to say the past maybe 4 or 5 months overall, Bring Me the Horizon.
I knew you were going to say that.
is definitely my go-to.
And you're talking about more like the post, like Ollie Sykes. I'm fairly certain he had vocal surgery, and then that's where he fucked up his vocal cords.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. So when Caleb was over here a few weeks ago and showed you like the old school Bring Me the Horizon, like they're kind of like their first album or whatever. Totally different than what they do now. Like you're talking about. I can't think of the name of the album that Happy Song is on, but you're talking about that style, like that type of Bring Me the Horizon, like the Sempiternal album with like Shadow Moses and stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah. So definitely a lot lighter than what they were. I don't know what you would classify old school Bring Me the Horizon, like grindcore maybe. I don't know.
Okay,
but I'm probably wrong. I was never I like metal and I just like listen to it. I don't genre it. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's got so many subgenres. You got like grindcore, deathcore, death metal, black metal. Whatever. Like there's so many, and that's not even scratching the very tip of the iceberg of all the different just subcategories. I was a crabcore guy. Like.
Yeah. I like crab legs. That's all I can tell you.
So you'd probably like crabcore then.
I'm sure I would.
But.
Yeah, it's really tough to say my favorite band. That's my favorite current band.
Yeah.
That's how I would answer that. And I don't remember, I said them because I don't remember the last time I heard a band that I wanted to keep listening to for this long.
Yeah.
My style of music ranges anywhere from bagpipes to metal.
Yeah.
And bagpipe metal.
Well, you've gotten into Bless the Fall too. Like you like their not their Hollow Bodies album, but the oh god, it's got Wishful Sinking on it. I can't think of the name. That might be the name of the album. No, that's not the name of the album. I just know that song is on there. That
I get to it pretty quick.
Cutthroat maybe on that album. I think Cutthroat's on that album.
I think so. That's on my playlist right now. No, yeah, Bless the Fall. Close second to somebody who I'm like currently listening to.
Hard Feelings. That's the name of the album.
Okay.
I can see it because it's got the neon pink. Like it's such a cool album color.
Yeah.
Cover.
So them, I've gotten into Ice Nine Kills, and
Silver Scream is a phenomenal album.
Oh, it is. So I really have to mention who I mean,
yeah.
If you follow me at all and you know my entrance themes in wrestling,
oh yeah,
and you know the opening to this, which the opening to our little,
yeah,
our little opening is from Bring Me
Song.
the Happy Song, Bring Me the Horizon. Who? H-U.
Mm-hmm. Not to be confused with The Who.
Correct. They are Mongolian throat metal, and I can't believe my brain didn't contest Who and Bring Me the Horizon, because I've listened to The Who
it's since I've known you.
It's been a couple years now.
Yeah.
They are currently the artists for my wrestling theme entrance, Hearts and Minds.
So I want to follow up and play off of this. Your favorite band. If you had to put together a band of your own, you could play any instrument, you could sing, whatever you want to do. It doesn't even matter if you can't do it right now. Magically, you gain the ability. You could do whatever you wanted to, but you could form a band. What kind of music would you like? What would that band be like? What genre would you play? Would you blend genres? What would you do?
Man, it would have to be. I would really want something unique.
Yeah.
Like The Who to me is the epitome of unique.
Yeah.
It is. When I say soulful, it speaks to me. It's my version of soulful. Like they have hard hitting songs, and then they've got some songs that make you think you're waking up in a field and you're about to go on a pleasant horse ride, but at any moment you could pull out your sword and start cutting heads off.
Okay.
And it speaks to me that way, and I would want it to be unique.
Okay.
It would definitely be rock something.
Okay.
Maybe even metal. Oh man. Yeah, it would. Dare I say, because the Who has a little bagpipes sprinkled in, on a song or two, or small pipes, and
You can have a dedicated bagpipe player.
get a dedicated.
It'd be like a weird ska band.
Yeah. So one of my favorite bands is Skiltron, who they are bagpipe metal. When I made that, when I said that earlier, so it would have to have bagpipes.
Okay.
It would have to be heavy, but it would also have to be able to get a little soulful.
Okay.
I like that. Just I don't know, medieval feel to it.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So I don't know how you'd.
I dig it.
Bagpipe metal.
We just call it ye old metal.
Ye Old Metal. There you go.
Ye old metal.
That is my band name. Ye Old Metal. It would
With the E on the end of old.
Yeah, it would definitely be, because that to me would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I got a practice chanter one year for Christmas to learn how to play the bagpipes. I believe that the bagpipes, you need an instructor.
Yeah.
At least I needed an instructor. I could play Amazing Grace on the practice chanter, but I never practiced with pipes. But so if I just magically had the ability to put a band together, something like that.
Would you play the bagpipes, or would you want to what would you want to do?
I would either want to be on drums or the bagpipes.
Okay.
I think I would be bagpipes. I feel like with drums and like guitar, you can be expressive.
Yeah.
You've got to move. I like that physical exertion.
Would you guys dress up like a Slipknot or like a Guar or something? Would you dress up like in armor or like kilts or
There would be some kind of attire.
like a gimmick? What would your gimmick be?
Yeah, the gimmick. Yeah, we would definitely have a gimmick. Like medieval mixed with like a modern,
Okay.
like a modern classy,
Yeah.
but like also kind of like badass, like just badassery.
Okay.
That's how I'd put it.
Fair enough.
And I had to break, I had to break character for that.
Yeah.
My
Had to break kayfabe.
pleasant character had to break kayfabe a little bit on that. Because it just,
Yeah.
something that hits hard, but it's like, all right, we're decked out to the nines
Yeah.
in our own like awesome, cool little style. I don't know. Now
I dig it.
Now
Now you're like, I want to put it
I want
together.
to do it now. What about you?
Me? Well, see, I got mine.
Okay.
Like to an extent. So I did the band with Brian, and we did like this kind of folky, like almost like you could almost like a lot of our songs kind of lent towards like Nirvana's Unplugged album, because that was what I was into at the time.
Okay.
And that's the kind of music I really wanted to create, and I channeled it through my playing. And we were an acoustic set. Sometimes he would play the cajon, the box drum, but mostly Brian sang.
Oh.
I played guitar. Eventually, he would go on to learn guitar as well, and we'd combine a little bit of that on some albums.
What did you call the box drum?
Cajon?
Cajon? I mean, like
Yeah, did you sit on?
I watched Patrick Stump play one
Yeah.
of those. A Fall Out
They're
Boy.
cool.
He was good at it.
Yeah,
It
it's
was-
an art form. It really is. Okay.
All right.
So I got that, and then I went on from there. In the same breath, played in a metal band. Kind of like, we drew inspirations from like a Skylit Drive, Bless the Fall, Asking Alexandria, like just that kind of stuff. And I got to go around various places in the upstate, little bars and house shows, and even went down and played the New Brooklyn Tavern in Columbia.
That's
played
really
shows
cool.
there. Did that.
Saw a little documentary on that.
Yeah, you did. I'm not going to link that.
It's
It was interesting. Yeah, did that, and then I don't know. Like now, it's weird because I kind of got a little bit of this with Brian and the New Philosophers. That was our band. If I could throw one together now, it would be like I'd probably throw together like a listener type, like the band Listener that I showed you.
Okay.
Like that spoken word over just some just instruments, just an instrumental. Yeah, something like that. I've always kind of wanted to throw that together. Or like I could have fun with a ska band. Like I think it would be fun. Like a Streetlight Manifesto or Real Big Fish, like kind of a more so Streetlight with like a more like punky, but I don't know, like I could get down with something like that. But for the most part, I've kind of done that. Like I've made my band, and I've been able to live that, you know.
That's really cool.
So I can at least I can kind of put a pin in it. I miss it a lot, but at the same time, like I've done it. So it's not one of those things that I have to like think about like, oh man, what if I did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next time we bring up this discussion, and we've got we're not so far into an episode, I'll ask you if you had to be a pro wrestler.
Ooh,
you just magically had the ability,
buddy.
Your gimmick, which I've heard a little bit from it.
Well, so yeah, I've thought about that. Like you can't help but think about it. Like when I get with you and I get with Jake, and especially all the work that I've done with Jake, like putting together his entrance video and doing music for him and his promos, and you know, working with 3 Count doing the press conference that I helped shoot.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. You can't help but wonder, like, man, if I was a pro wrestler, like what would I do? What would be my thing? What would I do?
Well, I want you to think on that, because you can there's a lot of stuff that you can do with a pro wrestling gimmick.
Oh yeah.
But before we wrap up today, we want to announce this week's Amazon.
Oh, that's what I was like, what are we getting into?
$5 gift card winner.
Yeah, so we'll just
away,
kick it us. Thank you, us. All right. Well, congratulations to whoever that was, because we're not gonna know until we pull the winner the day this episode airs. So good job to you.
Well done,
person.
We appreciate it. Thanks for the retweet. Thanks for the follow, and
yeah, and I'm sure we said it in the little giveaway, but if we for some reason failed to mention that and got lazy, if you want to be entered into the next Amazon giveaway, which we do every episode, so every time we publish an episode, you will see a pinned tweet on our Twitter. Excuse me. If you like that tweet, retweet it, and then give us a follow so that we can DM you details on how to get you your prize. You'll be entered in to win a $5 Amazon gift card. So that's all you got to do. Pretty super simple, easy.
I think so.
Yeah.
Not bad for a free chance to win free money.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, you're watching this on a Friday, possibly, if you're watching this as soon as it drops.
Yeah.
But if it's before Sunday at any point, or after, or any moment in time, really, ever.
Yeah.
Tell us in the comment section, or tweet us at the CS.
It's official CS pod.
Official CS pod. Tell us what video games you would like to see us live stream. What video games would be fun for
that we could play and interact with you guys.
Yeah,
I think that's the goal. We just want to hang out and just talk with you.
That's the biggest goal here, is for both of us to be able to interact with you guys, because we can't right here as much. Yeah. We want to interact with you in real time,
live.
Absolutely. So, we covered a lot today.
I'll do, pig.
Huh?
Said I'll do, pig. I'll do.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I thought you said all do, pig.
I'll do, pig. I'll do.
I'll do. I'll do, pig.
I'll do, pig. Good pig.
Good pig. I'll do. Whatever that means.
Well, Morgan just had a conniption in there. She's terrified of pigs. The big pig school. She's probably like,
I can't wait to go to the local dollar store and pick up a couple pig masks.
Oh, no. You will not be allowed back in this house. I promise you.
Okay.
It is that severe.
Okay.
Okay. It's pretty bad.
Maybe I won't.
Yeah. I would, for your health and your safety, I would advise against that highly.
Noted.
She might eat you.
She tortured me with her low-key octopus.
Oh, that's
wanted me to touch it. So
are you talking about the anemone?
The anemone.
Yeah. Or the starfish had the little suckers on it.
Oh,
too.
that was weird. He was all like,
he was like, you couldn't feel it. So I played with him. And as we dive into this, and people have already clicked off because we were like, bye.
Yeah.
I started feeling you don't really feel him when he sticks to you, but when you go to pull away, you kind of feel it. Like you feel the tension, I guess, of it because
Yeah.
he's like trying to hold on.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's gross.
it was. I mean, it was kind of neat
If you're into
if you're into that kind of thing.
yeah.
She's like, "Oh, my anemone, it's cute that it's stinging." Now she's like, "Ow, anemones sting me. It hurt. A poor little baby can't handle a sting." Like,
little baby can't handle a baby octopus sting. An anemone.
an
Anemone.
anemone,
An emoe.
anemone,
Anemone.
a wee moa, a wee mo. In the jungle.
In the
All right.
fish tank. The butthole fish tank. Okay, we won't get into that. We'll talk
right.
about the butthole circus next week. With that being said, if that didn't give you enough
And enough of me.
enough of me, enough of a reason to hit subscribe on whatever you're listening to us on,
Yeah.
I don't know what will.
Follow us. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. I'll love you forever, and I might kiss your dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can't pass that up.
Yeah. Right.
We're giving you Amazon cash. We're kissing your dogs.
Yeah.
We're gonna
You know,
talk.
politicians kiss a baby. I'll kiss your dog.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about the butthole circus next week.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I've been the Scottish Hush Puppy, and I got some food to go eat.
Till next time, my ghastly gang. Stay spooky.
Take care.